I had this idea in my head that I did not want to wear a suit. And I looked for a harvest job. This was back in 1988, right out of college. And I lucked out and worked for a little producer up on Howell Mountain, making Cabernet, making grapes into wine for the very first time, helping this old guy with his little 29-acre vineyard. And that's when I caught the bug.
So 25 years ago, Nick and I were looking for a place to make wines that really captured a sense of place. And Nick had a theory that, we could certainly do that in the United States. There's no reason why we cannot make world-class wines in California.
When I was working that first job in 1988 for Bill Smith, one of the most important lessons I learned from him was it's important to control the quality of the grapes, and the best way to do that was to grow them yourself.
We wanted to be pioneers because we felt like there was a to-be-discovered area where we could make the best wines that you can make, and so we had to take some risk.
So then I decided, okay, since I want to make my own wine, I'm going to have to find this piece of land and figure out, what wine and where, and somehow how we're going to start this business.
And so as Nick started saying, look, the key element is going to be finding the right climate. Yes, soil is important, but really your climate is what's going to be the most important thing that's going to affect the style of wines that you make. Nick and I went all up and down the coast, and one day found an old sheep ranch and apple orchard up on the far northwest Sonoma Coast, which at the time no one had ever planted grapes.
And basically I tell people you can't win the lottery if you don't buy a ticket. This parcel was for sale.
So Nick and I bought the land in '96 and took a couple of years to develop water and develop the land, and we planted in '98.
If you were to drink a wine of mine, you shouldn't really be able to tell that it's me. You should be able to tell where it's from. The wine should reflect the place. My sister was pre-med, and it was good immigrant parents. They wanted me to have a real solid job of something that you could use in real life. So I said, look, Mom and Dad, I can study winemaking, and if it doesn't work out, it's the same stuff as pre-med, and I can switch. And they said, great. So I think my father had a better idea that I would probably be working in a place where there's tanks and pumps and vats and things. And my mom thought I would be working in a lab all day long. And I think they were both a little bit right. So that's how I got started, and it was from then I really knew, this is what I want to do.
Vanessa is the third piece in Peay Vineyards, a very important piece.
Once I started hanging out with Vanessa, here was somebody who was very meticulous and kept lots of records and had the experience of making wine at a very high level of quality. If she was interested, it seemed much more logical for the sake of the company and the goal of the project to make the best wine possible.
And she joined us in 2001 for our first harvest. And that's really where everything fell into place.
Nick and I work together where he's farming the grapes, he's managing our vineyard crew. He has a feel for these mechanical things, he has a feel for the plants.
Nick and Vanessa are a couple, and they really trust one another. And I think that they both have very high standards for what they expect from one another and what they expect from the wines and the grapes that we grow. And I think that comes through in the wines.
Our place is, the West Sonoma Coast on this hilltop with these soils, with this fog, with the wind. And if we can capture that same essence from year to year, that's what you're capturing is the terroir.
Experience of working with a particular vineyard year after year can't be replaced.
It's been really incredible 2 decades of learning about our site, what works, and responding to the various challenges that we have out here.
We have this really unique site that is this West Sonoma Coast. And I was almost struck by how distinctive the flavors were. And I don't think I knew that was going to happen.
There's an understanding that we're all in this together trying to make great wine, all focused on the same goal.
The best feeling is when that wine is in the bottle, the label's on, and it's in the box, and you load the boxes up into the truck and you wave bye-bye. It's like, we did it.